test mic sound check. What's up guys, Learning with Rich here. So in this video, we are going to start our Revit MEP 2020.1 training. Okay, so I know I already did this training back in 2016 using Revit 2016. So this time around, I'll be using Revit 2020.1. So we will be discussing the basics of Revit MEP. So this series of video is highly recommended, especially if you are just starting to use Revit. All right, so for the first topic that we are going to discuss, of course, okay, so I assume all of you are just starting to use Revit. Okay, so that's why we are going to talk about the user interface of Revit. All right, so this lesson describes how to use the different parts of Revit 2020.1 user interface. So we will begin the lesson by learning about the main user interface, and then we're going to learn about the ribbon tabs and some recommended practices for using the user interface. All right. Okay, so let's get started. So for the first thing that we are going to do, all right, so let's talk about this one first. Okay, so the first time you open your Revit 2020.1, so you'll be able to see this recent files window. Okay, so this is our recent files window wherein you'll be able to see here, of course, the recently opened files or recently opened project. Okay, and then you will be able to see here recently open families or recently created families. Okay, so families are just like blocks in AutoCAD. Okay, so the blocks here in Revit, they call it families. So it's an intelligent blocks or 3D model, and it can also be 2D model. Anyway, we are going to talk about that later on as we progress on our training for Revit MEP 2020.1. Okay, so now here at the right side, so you'll be able to see here the models and families. Okay, so you'll be able to open, you'll be able to create new, okay, for the model or for the project. And then you also have here the open for families and then creating new families. Okay, so if you are going to click this back here, so this is what will happen. So it's just an empty space wherein it shows here this tabs. Okay, so we call this ribbon tabs. And then you have here the ribbon panels. And then you have here the tools. Okay, so if you want to go back again to the recent files window, so all you have to do is to click this one, this home button. So you just click that. So you will be going back again to the home button. Okay. So just remember, you call this the home window or the recent files window. So to further up our learning, so let us try to open a new file, or let's say just an exercise file for Revit. So we will be using the default exercise file so that you'll be able to follow the exercise. Okay, so let's open up the file. Let's click the file, and then from here you'll be able to see the basic tools that we can use, right? Like creating a new project, creating a family, creating a new conceptual mask, title block, or annotation symbol. So we will be discussing this as well. Okay, and then you also have here open. Okay, and then these are the files or Revit compatible files that you can open here in Revit. You can save as, export, you can also print, and you can also close the project. So aside from that, you also have the options here wherein you can explore, okay, to change the option settings of your Revit. Okay, so I'm just going to close this. I'll be using the default settings. So like what I've said, so we are going to open a simple model here using the sample exercise. So I want you to look for this arrow here and then look for sample files. Okay, so let's click that one, and then you will be redirected to the sample folder. All right, so the project that we are going to open here is this one. So RME Advanced Sample Project. So here in Revit, you call it project. So in AutoCAD, you call it drawing, right? AutoCAD drawing. So here in Revit, you call it project. And then as you can see, as you select the file, you will notice that the files type of this one is project, right? So I'm just going to adjust that one. So as you can see, this is a project because you also have Revit family. The extension file of Revit project is .rvt. So if you are using AutoCAD, so that is .dwg. So in Revit project, so that's .rvt. Now for the family, that is .rfa. Okay, so with this version, okay, so before I used the 2016 version. Okay, so if you select the file here, you will not be able to see here the version of that particular project or family. So now in this version, 2020.1 version, so as you select here the file, you'll be able to see here what is the version of that file. All right, so which is a nice option or a nice addition in Revit because you'll be able to know what is the version of the project or the family that you're trying to open. Anyway, so let's open up a project here. So I'm going to open RME Advanced Sample Project. So let's open up this one. So you just need to select here open. So in this exercise, we are going to explore the user interface. Okay, so let's learn how the user interface is organized to support our workflow. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. So right after we open the project, so this is now the default view that we have. All right, so if you're going to look here at the top portion, so this is our title bar. Okay, so on the title bar, of course, you'll be able to see there the Autodesk Revit 2020.1 and then the name of the project. So aside from the name of the project, you will also see here the name of the view. So the name of this view is 3D View WSHP 2-3 system view. All right, so that is the name of this view. So another way of knowing the name of your current view, aside from going to your title bar, you can also look here at the project browser. So you will notice that one of the views here or one of the view here in the project browser is highlighted in black. So just like this one. Okay, so meaning to say, this is the current view that is open right now. So that is a 3D views under 3D views, and then that's the name of the view. Okay, now by default, you see this portion here, this one. So this one is the one that you call quick access toolbar. Okay, so that's your quick access toolbar. So your quick access toolbar here, this one. So your quick access toolbar, by default, it is located here. Okay, so it's located here. So if you want to put your quick access toolbar above, so all you have to do is to just click that drop down arrow. And then after that, you can select here, show above the ribbon. All right, so just click that one. And then you will notice that your quick access toolbar will be placed to its original location. Okay, so in my case, what I do is I just put my quick access toolbar here below. Okay, so that's my preference. So that's why I'll just click again the drop down arrow here. And then after that, I'm going to select show below the ribbon. Okay, so that my quick access toolbar will be placed below. Okay, so what is this quick access toolbar? So this quick access toolbar contains a set of default tools. So these are default tools that you can actually customize to display the tools that you use most often. Like, for example, most of the time you use Duct. Okay, so the Duct tool can be found here on the Systems tab. Okay, so if I click the Systems tab, you will see here the Duct tool. So if I always use my dock tool, so it would be better if I'm going to put it here on my quick access toolbar. So how to do that? So all you have to do is to right click the tool that you want to place on your quick access toolbar, and then you will see this option, add to quick access toolbar. So once click, you will now be able to see the tool is now there. Okay, so by doing that, even if you are here on the architecture tab and then suddenly you want to use your dock tool, so all you have to do is to click that from the quick access toolbar. So no need for you to go back again to the systems tab and then select the dock there, right? So aside from that, so just in case you do not want to use your dock here, you want to remove that to your quick access toolbar. So the procedure of removing it from the QAT or quick access toolbar is just right click that, and then you just need to select here, remove from quick access toolbar. Take note that you also have other options here wherein you can add separator, you can customize the QAT, and then you can show the quick access toolbar above the ribbon. You want to place it here, so you just need to select that. Well, in my case, I'll just select here, remove from the quick access toolbar. And there you go. So that is your quick access toolbar. All right. So aside from the quick access toolbar and then the title bar, okay, so you also have the home button. So this is the one that you just need to click if you want to go back to your recent files window or to your home button or to your home window, which is this one, the first window that you will be seeing when you open up Revit. Okay, so this is your home window or the recent files window. Okay, if you're going to click that again, you will be going back again to your project. Okay, so what's this? Just a review. This is our home button. Okay, so this portion here is what we call quick access toolbar. All right. And then you see here on the right side of your title bar, you will see this portion here. Okay. So that one is your info center. So this portion here. So take note that you can also expand that, and then from here you can type, let's say for example you don't know anything about doc, so you just type there doc, and then Revit will help you to look for an article regarding a doc. So you just need to type here on the search box to quickly look up information in the online help. Okay, so this portion here at the right side, this is what we call our info center. Okay, so the info center provides a set of tools that enable you to access many product related information sources. Like for example, you want to know what is the current version of your Revit. So all you have to do is to click that drop down arrow here just beside the question mark, and then you will see here other useful links that you can click. And if you want to check about your software, you can click that. And then you will now be able to see here the current version of your Revit. Okay, you can actually check out the license information of your Revit. Okay, of course, I'm not going to click that. So it's a private matter. So I'm just going to close this one. All right, so just remember, this portion is what you call the info center. Okay, so you can access here many product related information sources. Okay, so that's your info center. Now, aside from the info center, so you also have the file tab, this one. This is what you call file tab. So this file tab provides access to common file actions, like for example, creating a new project, open or save, and it also allows you to manage files using more advanced tools such as, let's say you want to publish your project or you want to export your project. So you just need to click the file tab. So if you click that, you'll be able to see these tools here. Okay? All right? So that is your file tab. Of course, this one is to create new project. Okay? family, Revit file, building component, IFC option for the open here. Okay. All right. So that is our file tab. So remember your file tab. Okay. So you can access here the common file actions such as new, open, save, or export, or print. Okay. So that's your file tab. So just a review. What is this portion here? So remember, this is your title bar. Okay, so at the right side of your title bar, you will see here the info center. Left side of your title bar, you will see here the home button. Or if you want to go to the recent files window, you just need to click that. And then you also have here the file tab. All right, so now the next part of the user interface is, let's say, for example, I'm just going to zoom in. If you want to zoom in your drawing, so you just need to scroll your middle button of the mouse, okay? Okay, it will zoom in, zoom out. So let's say, for example, I'm going to select this duct here. So I'm going to click that. Okay, so right off the bat, so once you select that, notice this portion will populate. Okay, so what's that? What do you call this portion here? So this portion is what we call the options bar. Okay, so this options bar that is located below the ribbon, it displays conditional tools dependent on the current tool or selected element. So check this out. If I'm going to cancel my drawings, I'm going to right click and then cancel. So meaning I want to deselect this duct here. So I'm going to select cancel. So what will happen is your options bar here will becomes empty, right? So it's empty. So by default, your options bar is empty or blank. Okay, it will only populate options if you select a tool or if you select elements or element. So like for example, if I select the dock tool, if I click this one, so you will notice your quick access toolbar, or I mean the options bar will populate, right? But if you are going to cancel the tool, so aside from right click and then selecting cancel, you can also press escape once to terminate the tool. Okay, and then you will now see that your options bar will becomes blank again. So if I'm going to select an object, like for example, the duck, again, your options bar here will populate with options dependent on the current selected element or current tool. All right, so there you go. So another way to deselect the element or cancel the tool is by simply selecting here modify. Okay, so just click modify and then you will now deselect the object and cancel the tool. Okay, and you can also move the options bar below. So let's say you do not want to have the options bar here, you want to put it here below. So all you have to do is to right click that and then you can select here dock at bottom. And there you go. So that's now your options bar. Okay, so just in case you're looking for the options bar here, okay, so you thought you already lost your options bar, so don't worry, the options bar is just here below. Okay, so maybe someone just put the options bar here below. So you just need to right click again and then you can select dock at top. Okay, there you go. Okay, so now another part of the user interface is our project browser. This one. So this is our project browser. So this is the project browser. So what is the project browser? So browser shows a logical hierarchy for all views, schedule, sheets, groups, and other parts of the current project. Okay, so your project browser, this is something like just like your table of contents. Okay, so this is like the table of contents of your project. So like for example, you want to go to the floor plan, it's okay. So I'll just need to expand this one and then I can see the floor plans there. And then these are the floor plan. So let's say I want to open the level 2 HVAC plan. So I'm going to double click that. So you will notice that you will now be able to open the floor plan. There you go. So there's now your floor plan. And note that the title bar also updates. So now it's telling us that this particular view is floor plan, level 2 HVAC plan. So floor plans, level 2 HVAC plan. And also notice this window here. Okay. So these are the views that you have open in your project. Okay, so these are the views that you have open on your project. So you can cycle back to the 3D model. So you can click that. So you will be going back again to the 3D model. So by the way, if you want to pan your drawing, so all you have to do is to hold the middle button of your mouse and then you can move or pan your drawing. Okay, to zoom in, zoom out, you just need to scroll the middle button. Zoom in, zoom out. Okay? Hold the middle button to pan your drawing. Let's say, for example, you lost your model. So like, for example, you lost like that. So all you have to do is to right click and then you can select zoom to fit. Just click that one and then there you go. All right. So again, you lost your model for some reason. So you just need to right click and zoom to fit. Okay. So again, going back, this portion is what we call our project browser. Okay, so project browser, you can expand and then you can hide, you can minimize. This is very important. So that's why just in case you accidentally close your project browser, for example, I'm going to close the project browser. Okay, so it's now closed. So if you want to open back again the project browser, all you have to do is to right click the project browser and then you look for browsers and then you can select their project browser. There you go. There you go. So there's your project browser. Okay, so this is a hierarchy for all the views in your project, schedules, what else? Sheets, groups, and other parts of the current project. Okay, right? So large complex projects can contain hundreds of entries in our project browser. Okay, so you can actually right click from here and then you can search. So like for example, like that. So you can right click here at the blank space and then you can search from here. Okay, you can search like for example, you can type HVAC and then I select next. So you see that one. So next, you see, right? So it's pretty useful. So you just need to right click at the blank space of your project browser and then you just need to select search. You can also expand all. There you go. So it's all expanded. So from here, let's say I want to open a schedule. So there's a schedule. So let's say I want to open the electrical equipment connection schedule. So I'll just double click that. And there you go. So there's now the schedule. Again, it's now added here on the open views. Okay. All right. So I now have three here. So I have the level 2 HVAC plan, the schedule, and I also have the 3D model. All right. So that's our project browser. So another important window in the Revit user interface is the properties. Okay. So this one, the properties. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag the properties out just like that because I have combined that on my project browser to save space. But for this discussion, I'm just going to separate the properties. I'm going to dock it here at the right side. There you go. So there's the properties. Okay, so this is another important user interface in Revit. Okay, so that's your properties palette. So this properties palette is a modeless dialog where you can view and modify the parameters that define the properties of element. Okay, if you do not select any object, okay, if you do not select any object, these properties is what you call view properties. Okay, so just remember that. If you do not select any elements, any objects, so this is what you call view properties. So when you say view properties, these are the properties of the views that is currently open or the view that is currently open. So from here, aside from the title bar, aside from the project browser, you can also check the properties here of the view if you want to know what is the name of that. So there you go. So the name is WSHP 2-223 system view, which is correct, right? So you see that one? So it's the same. It's the same. So you can also use the view properties by checking out the property of the view that is currently open. So as you can see, if you want to know what is the scale of this, so just look at the view properties. You will see here the view scale. So it says 1:100. So the discipline is mechanical. The subdiscipline is HVAC design, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this is your view properties. Now, if you are going to select an object, like for example, I'm going to select this air terminal. So if I click this one, so notice that this is not a view properties anymore. So this is now what you call instance property. When you say instance property, it will show you here the property of the selected element or elements. So in our case, it shows me here that that selected air terminal is this type. M return diffuser, 600 by 600 phase, 300 by 300 connection. Okay, so if I want to change that type, I'll just need to click this type selector. So you call that type selector, and then you will be able to see here all the families that is currently loaded or air terminals that is currently loaded that you can use to replace that. So let's say I want to change that to exhaust grill. So I'll just need to click that one, and there you go. So it's now exhaust grill, right? So if I click that, so it's now exhaust grill. So if I want to change that, I'll just need to click again the type selector, and then I can change that to, let's say, this one, the return diffuser. So there you go. Okay, and then this is the type selector. So you will also see here, oops, sorry. You will also see here the properties filter. So as you can see, that is the air terminal. So this is the category, and then this is the type of the family. Okay, all right. So this is what you call instance property. Okay, so you can also go to the type properties here, or I mean in the instance type property, sorry, this is the type properties wherein you can create a new type of that M return diffuser. Okay, so you can duplicate this, and then you can rename, and then you can modify this. Anyway, we are going to explore this more as we move on our training, okay, in this course. Okay, so for the meantime, this is our properties. So again, just in case you accidentally close your properties, you just need to right click, and then you just need to select your properties. Okay, so if you want to combine the project browser and then the properties, all you have to do is to drag from this on the title, drag that, and then you put that to your project browser, and then you will now see it's now combined. Properties, project browser, there you go, right? All right. Okay, so just a review, this is what? This is our title bar. This is our info center. So this is our home button. This is our file tab. This is our quick access toolbar. This is our options bar. So we have the project browser, and then we also have the properties. And then, you know, this portion here, this is what you call the ribbon tab. Because this whole thing here, this whole thing, okay, so this whole part of the user interface is what you call the ribbon. Okay, so this is what you call the ribbon. Okay, so to break down the ribbon, this is your ribbon tab. So your ribbon tab contains tools here, or buttons, or buttons. So if it is, since we are having a training on MEP, mechanical electrical plumbing, so we are going to talk about more here on the Systems tab. Okay, so this is your Systems Ribbon tab. Okay, so this is your Ribbon tab. Ribbon tab. So we will be exploring this as we move on. So I'm just telling you that this is what you call Ribbon tab. And then these are the tools. And then you also have the panel name. Like for example, let's go to the panel name HVAC or HVAC panel. So I mean here. So this is your HVAC panel, fabrication panel, PNID collaboration panel, plumbing and piping panel, electrical panel, and then these are the tools. All right. Okay, so that's our ribbon. Okay, so what else? So by the way, I have already opened here three views, right? So let's say I'm gonna open another view here, like elevation. So I'm gonna open the elevation. I'll just double click the North Mech elevation. So I now have four views here. So if I want all of these four views to be shown in my view, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select here the view tab. So you go to the view tab and then you can see here tile views. Okay, so tile views. So as you can see, there's also a shortcut for tile views, which is WT. So all you have to do is to type WT if you want to type a shortcut. So some of the tools here in Revit has its own shortcut. Like for example, if I go to the Systems tab, and then I hover my pointer to the dock. So there's a shortcut for dock. So the shortcut is DT. Okay, so all you have to do is to type the shortcut. No need to press enter, unlike AutoCAD. So here in Revit, you just need to type the shortcut. Anyway, let me go back again to the View tab, and then I'll select here Tile Views. It arranges all open views within the application window tiled so you can see each one in the drawing area. So I'm going to click this one. There you go. Okay, so these are now the four views that I have opened. Okay, so you will notice as I click on each view, notice that the name of the view highlights, right? If I click here, so you see it highlights, okay? It changed here. If I click here, see it's North Dash Meg, North Dash Meg, North Dash Meg. Now, if I want all of these views to be zoom extents, okay, I'm not going to right click one by one and then zoom to fit, and then I come here again, right click, zoom to fit, and then right click, zoom to fit here. Although you can do that, but there is an easier way to do that by just simply typing ZA. Okay, so ZA stands for zoom all to fit. Okay, so zoom all to fit. Okay, so let's try. So I'm going to type ZA. There you go. You see, it's now zoom extended. Okay, so there is another way to do zoom all to fit. So let's say I'm going to zoom out again all the drawings. So I'm gonna click here to make this as my active view. You see this one? So this is our navigation bar. Okay, so this is our navigation bar. If you click this drop down arrow here, you will see these options wherein you can zoom out twice, you can zoom to fit, and you can zoom all to fit. So this is also the ZA. Okay, or if you forget the shortcut, then you just click this one. All right, just select zoom all to fit, just click that one, and there you go. Okay, and there is a new feature in Revit 2000. I think it started in 2009, 2018, or 2019. I'm not sure. This one, wherein you can separate the view completely from the Revit, and then you can put it to another window, separate window, or separate monitor. So like for example, I want to take out the 3D view. So all you have to do is to just drag this one, just drag, just like that. So as you can see, it's now separated from the Revit, right? So I can now put this to my another monitor. So as you can see, I am dragging this and putting it to my another monitor. So if I want to have a separate one whole view on this one. So this is a new feature, I think, if I'm not mistaken, in Revit 2018. Okay, just correct me if I'm wrong. All right, so you can separate this one and then put it to a new monitor. Okay, now if you want to put this back again, so what you can do is you can just tab the view, just click this one, tab views, or you can type TW. Tab views is here as well on the view tab, Windows panel, there's the tab view. So just click that one, okay? And then you can just maximize this. There you go. So it's separated. So if you want to put it back again, just drag this and then you can put that view and then you will now be able to combine it again, right? Okay, so just remember you can type um, ZA if you want to zoom all extents your drawing. Okay, don't worry. I know there's too much information in this topic, but you'll be able to familiarize yourself in these terminologies, in these tools, or to these commands because we'll be using these commands that I'm discussing during the process of our training. Okay, now so let's move on to our next user interface. So this is our drawing area. This one, this portion here. Okay, so this is what we call the view control bar. Okay, so this is the view control bar. So what is this view control bar? So this view control bar provides quick access to functions that affect the current view. So take note, only the current view will be affected by this one. So if you go to another view, that particular view is different from this view. So like for example, this one is, the scale here is 1 to 100. So let's say I make it 1 is to 50, just like that. So it's 1 is to 50. So it only affects this view here, okay, this view. So if I go to my level 1 HVAC plan, I double click that. So you will notice that it is not affected by the scale here. Oh, sorry, it's just so happened that this view is also 1 is to 50. Okay, so how about I go to a elevation view? I open up the elevation view. Yeah, so if I go to elevation view, as you can see, it's not affected by the uh, view control bar of another view. Okay, so they all have different settings of view control bar. All right. So again, we will be using this most of the time during the course of our training. So I'm just telling you that this is your view control bar that provides quick access to functions that affect the current view. Okay. And then another part of the user interface is this one. So this is what we call the status bar. So this is the status bar here. So the status bar is pretty useful because it provides tips or hints on what to do. So let's say, for example, I'm going to select the Systems tab, and then from the HVAC panel, I select here the dock. So if I click the dock, okay, so have a read on your status bar. So what does it say? So it says click to enter the start point. So it gives you tips or hints on what to do. So I can click one point, for example, like that. See, I click one point. Okay. So now what does it say? Enter dock endpoint. So meaning to say, if you click, so you need to enter. You need to once you click, you will be putting the endpoint of your dock. So I'll just pick here. Okay. I'll just pick another point here. I'll just pick another point here. Okay. So basically your status bar, it always gives you hints or tips on what to do. Okay. Or another way, so let me just cancel the tool by selecting modify here. If you do not know what is the type of the family of a certain family in Revit, so like for example this one, so you just need to hover your pointer and then look at the quick status bar. So you see the status bar tells us that this is a mechanical equipment M outdoor AHU horizontal 5.7 square meters of coil. So it tells you also what is that particular element. So all you have to do is to hover your pointer. See, it tells you what is that. Okay, so that's your uh, status bar. Okay, All right. So just a few tips in customizing your interface. So let's say, for example, you are used to black background because you are using AutoCAD. So if you want to make this black background, so you can just go to the file and then you go to the options. Just go to the options, and then after that you go to the graphics, graphics, and then after that you can change here the background. Okay, so you just click the background, and then you can change the color here to black, and then select OK, and then just select your OK, right? So as you can see, it's black background now. Okay, all right, and then aside from that, you can go to the options again, graphics, and then you can change here the selection color. So meaning to say, when you click the object, it will becomes red. And then if you change the pre-selection color, it will becomes green. So what does it means? So if you hover your pointer, you will notice it will becomes green, right? If you hover your pointer, it will becomes green. So if you click the object, it will becomes red, right? You see that one? It will becomes red. So by the way, if you want to orbit your model, if you want to orbit, so all you have to do is to hold the shift key on the keyboard and then hold the middle button. So as you can see, you'll be able to orbit your model. Okay, so there you go. So you can orbit your model. Just hold the shift key on the keyboard and then hold the middle button. Then you can move your mouse. You can see it's now orbiting your model. So best practice, you always select first the object, and then after that, you can now orbit your model. Okay? So that's how you change the background, that's how you change the selection and pre-selection color in Revit. You just need to go to File, Options, and then you go to Graphics, and then you can change here the background. I just prefer white for this one. Okay, there you go. Right? Okay, so I think that is too much information already for you guys. So that's it for our discussion on the basic user interface of Revit MEP or Revit 2020.1. Okay, so hopefully you guys learned something from this video. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can put it on the comment section below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. On our next topic, what we are going to do, let's try to further view our model. Okay, so for this Revit MEP training. Okay, so thank you for watching, guys. Have a nice day.